Good morning, everyone, and welcome to all of you. Welcome to our Tuesday morning Mind the Moment session, brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. This is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to process as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino, and it's so nice to be sitting here on Zoom with Zeenat Potia, longtime meditator, mindfulness instructor, and longtime teacher with Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. So good morning, Zeenat.
Good morning, Suzanne, and hi, everyone.
Welcome, and welcome to everyone that's joining this morning on this chilly but sunny Tuesday morning in Boston. I wanted to first of all, we'll start off today. Zeenat will start us off with a question, as we usually do, and then lead us in a guided practice and share some thoughts with us. So if you could go to the bottom of your screen and open up the chat, and that is where you can click on the blue drop-down menu at the bottom and choose everyone if you're interested in seeing everyone's comments coming in as they type them. And if you have any general questions now, you can go ahead and type those into the chat if you're interested in doing that right off the bat. I did want to mention an announcement. If you weren't here last week, we will be adding a Wednesday morning session that we're very excited about. There were a number of folks that mentioned that they were interested in having a session that would enable a little bit more interaction. So rather than the regular webinar format, which we will keep for Tuesdays and Thursdays, on Wednesday, we're adding a session from 8:30 until 9. That will be a Zoom meeting format that will enable people to see one another and also to interact a little bit more. I'll be leading that and teaching it, which I'm so excited about, and just excited to see everyone's faces. And then we'll start that on the 5th of January. And I will go ahead and share the link for that right now. And that will be in the chat. So if folks want to go ahead and copy and paste that into your calendar, that will be Wednesday, starting the 5th at 8:30. And yes, so on that note, Zeenat, we're so happy to have you here this morning and happy to see folks join. And I think we could all use a little support from one another as things evolve in our world. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm delighted to be with you this morning. And I wanted to acknowledge that there is once again a general air of anxiety and heightened hypervigilance around the new variant Omicron. And so just to name what's in the surroundings, and if you're experiencing any of the reverberations from that, to just recognize that you're not alone. I think that can be just really useful to know that it's can be a shared experience. Of course, we're individuals and have different unique situations, so it's not a blanket homogeneous thing, but it certainly feels like the tone of worry is back. So to know that. And I wanted to start with our topic, which is reflection, and just a nugget from the classical teachings of early Buddhism, which is where we draw upon when we teach secular mindfulness, is the Buddha had a son called Rahula. And I'll just share, he asked his son, "What do you think, Rahula? What is a mirror for?" "For reflection, sir." In the same way, Rahula, bodily actions, verbal actions, and mental actions are to be done with repeated reflection. And so I wanted to offer this to us as we start to bring another year to a close. Some of you may have your own practices that you do around just reflecting back on how this year was, and then reflecting forward, how we what are our intentions? What are the seeds that we want to plant for the new year? And so the question in the chat is quite broad. You know, do you have a reflection practice? Will you be reflecting in some way? Are you looking more reflecting as to what happened in 2021? Or maybe you have some intentions that you are becoming clear or are starting to emerge for the next year. And so feel free to share in the chat just what this word reflection, when you drop it in, what arises.
Yeah, it's I have to say that the first thing that comes to my mind, just to get things started a bit, is reflecting on how I walked through my days in 2021, or I'm still walking through my days. And do I want to evolve that into a different way? So just being aware that there are, we can adjust if it
Beautiful.
serves you.
Yeah, lovely, Suzanne. And I think the invitation from the teachings is, and I love this, before, during, and after. So before you do a bodily action, you speak, or a thought, during and after, to look, to reflect, is this skillful? Is this going to cause more affliction and suffering to myself and others? Or is this going to reduce affliction or suffering to myself and others? To really, the reflection invitation is to see, is this skillful or not? And in terms of connecting to mindfulness, it's deeply integral to mindfulness practice, because that's what mindfulness is. It's an invitation to pause so we're not just acting out of our habitual impulses. The momentum of conditioning is stopped in its tracks when we pause. So I see that things have come in. We'll just glance through, because I do want to move to the practice, but appreciating the sharing and inviting you to read along if you can.
My end of year practice is to meet with my best friend, go for a walk, and go through each month and tell each other something, things that were important that happened in that month. That's I love that. It's hard not to reflect, harder still to think about going forward.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I liked what Loretta said about looking forward too, being very open about the spectrum of the reflection, really with curiosity, not so much remorse. I mean, of course, remorse can be a healthy thing too, but not guilt and shame. But when there's curiosity, then there can be creativity of what you might want to change or have be different. And the fact that the mirror analogy, it's just, we're not making things up. It's just a reflection. So it takes out that kind of personal ickiness that we can add to reflection. It's not needed. It's not needed to really see it as a skillful practice. So I think I'd like to move to practice now. If you could come into a comfortable posture, upright. I want to help your shoulders relax down, head and neck. It's as if you're looking straight ahead. And then the invitation is to close the eyes if you're comfortable, or a soft gaze. And to land in the body. To really take this time to turn inward and to begin to settle into the physicality of your experience right now. There will be time to think and do cognitive work, but for now, connecting to the felt sense of your physical being, sensations, sounds, breath, opening to your experience fully, completely. This takes courage. No, it's not easy work. If the habit and the conditioning, individual and societal, is to dissociate, is to be disconnected from our body. Coming into it is a bold and radical act of vulnerability, of honesty. And so little by slowly, opening and allowing, sensing and feeling whatever is here, whatever is present in your experience right now. And please stay in the realm of sensations. Touch, sounds, breath. The mind wanders off, gets lost in thinking, planning, memories. Notice you're elsewhere, gently returning to the feet on the ground, to your seat, to the hands in your lap, over and over again. This is our practice. continuing to ground and settle and linger with your present moment awareness in the body. And an invitation to be gentle. Last few minutes remaining in this practice, and offering that to invite you to continue to deepen in stillness, to listen to the quiet, to steep in the silence. And if you find that you're restless, distracted, sleepy, feeling aversion or wanting to be doing something else, to see those as heavenly messengers to soften, to be gentle with yourself, and to recommit, to reconnect to the here and now, to the body. Okay. Thank you for your practice. I snuck in a little bit extra practice time. I figured we needed some quiet today, and I just wanted to end to pull the thread of reflection through by saying that in the teachings, the invitation is that it's a training. Through repeated reflection, that's how you should train yourself. And so this is the ideal that's being offered before, during, and after. And our lives are snappy. And our human nature is snappy. So to not feel like, oh, that's just impossible, but to see it as something to aspire to, a training that we can all aspire to. Thank you. Thank you for your practice.
Thank you for leading us in a wonderful reflection. I like the additional information that you gave the folks and all of us about non-judgmental reflection as well, because that I think it's good to be realistic with ourselves and say, that we can definitely learn from certain things that we did. Maybe we weren't happy with this, that, or something else. But that we, give ourselves a break during a really unusual time in our lives, especially these last number of years. So I think the non-judgmental part is important.
Yeah, thank you for emphasizing that. I think we cannot hear that enough because the impulse is so strong to evaluate and judge.
Yeah. So for folks that might have joined us a little bit later, just a last reminder that on the 5th of January, we will be adding an additional session on Wednesdays. And that session will be an 8:30 to 9 a.m. session, but in a Zoom meeting format with the opportunity to see one another on screen and also speak directly to one another after a small teaching. That's something I will be leading next year, which is not so far away from us. And I'll share the Zoom link, and we will have a password. I wanted to remind folks for that. And that session will not be recorded as well. So I wanted to mention that as well. And that we encourage you to come on in whatever way is most comfortable, whether on video or off video, whatever works for you on that particular day. So wanted to open that up for welcome to everyone. So thank you to all of you that have joined us. Thank you to Zeenat for your wonderful words and teachings, and we're very grateful for those. So we wanted to mention that. And thank you to everyone for joining, and we hope that you have a good rest of your week. We will be here on Thursday with Tara Healy, and we will be also here as well the following week during the holidays. So wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of that. So wishing you a good week and hoping you will join us again on Thursday if you're able.
Thank you, everyone. Be well.
Thank you, and see you soon.